Hi guys, this is Conrad Braun here again, and as promised, I'm just quickly going to go through some of the questions here and try to answer them on video, um, just so we get a clearer picture of what I'm talking about and stuff. So, the first question here is if I added a campaign, for example, add some more backlinks, will this produce a new code for this campaign so that I have to post it on my sites again? No, you don't. You set up a campaign once, you add the codes to your site, you can edit, change, or mess with that campaign as much as you want. The code will stay the same. It's only if you create a new campaign, let's say you were to delete this one and create a new one, you would have to add a new code to your site as well. But as far as just editing a campaign goes, you will not have to update the code on your site. Okay, looks like somebody else already answered that here. Thank you very much. Yeah, okay, in response to the wildcard question that was placed, you're absolutely right. The wildcards don't work. I asked my programmer about it, and pretty much here's what he said. We may introduce this feature in our future version because adding this functionality means a major upgrade for existing customers. So at the time being, the wildcard feature for the IP addresses will not work. Okay, so let's move on to the next question here. It's from Rainmaker. Let me just quickly read through it. And he's asking, I'm assuming you only have to install the ping folder on one website. Traffic is not an issue on where you install the folder. That is absolutely correct. You can install the folder in any domain, any website you want. It does not matter whether or not the folder itself is getting any traffic. Okay. And he says, once installed, I take it's where you paste the script code, which is paramount. Yes and no. Anywhere in the PHP code, as long as it functions, should be fine. Personally, I would always put it just before the where the body closes on a PHP page. So if you have a blog, I would say put it in your footer. It has worked great for me, and has worked great for others as well. So that's what I would recommend, so that it loads last, just to not slow your site loading time down at all, which it shouldn't really do anyways, but you know, keep your site running up at optimum performance, right? And the next question says, if I want to run multiple campaigns, do I need to install the code on various of my domains that receive relatively high traffic for each campaign? It depends what you want to do with it. If you want to ping 1,000 backlinks a day with it, yeah, I would recommend that your site get a decent amount of traffic. But other than that, a few unique visitors a day will make a 9-day difference already. Remember, it's 100% automated, and yeah. So yeah, you really do not need a whole lot of traffic to make this script work for you. And to your comment here about the wasted resource, the big box here, let me just quickly log in here and see what you're looking at. Okay, see, I'm adding a campaign, and I assume it's for this title right here. The whole idea here is, let's say you were to you don't just copy paste your keywords in the randomization format, the syndication format that you lined out there. You can have completely different titles altogether. Like, for example, you can have let me just quickly type something out. So as you can see right here, you can have cool, fancy, super dog, cat training guide, whatever. So pretty much this would be on one line. As you can see, it could very quickly get very crowded here if everything was in a box like that. Does that make sense? And then for the next line, you might not want to have the first set of keywords that you put in front of the initial keyword. So in this case, you know, you can start a whole set of new keywords. And again, this would be used. So pretty much what you would do here, you can have one set of keywords on your first line. Like in this example right here, you might want to have a keyword before your actual, or like some cool words before your actual keyword. On your next set of keywords, you might not want to have these words in front of that. Does that make sense? And that's why you just simply hit enter and then you start a new set of keywords. You can literally build a huge amount of keywords up like that. And just imagine if we were to copy paste this all in here in a one-line campaign or one-line box, it would get very, very crowded. And again, with this one, if you run out of space, you just simply expand the box, and it should be fairly easy to navigate. So it definitely is not a waste of resource, and I disagree with the suggestion that was made, but everybody's entitled to their opinion, right? And then going on here, it says, care to explain to me the relationship between the URLs that need to be pinged, the ones with title association, by the way they're all title associated, and the backlinks, the backlink URLs we're adding immediately below. Let's see here. So let's see, I assume you're talking about these custom pinging. One of the main differences really between these two boxes here is just to keep things balanced, keep things even, keep things organized. For example, like the idea with this first box was that you could either choose self-pinging, in which case it would ping the URL that the visitor landed on, but if you put in custom pinging, it would ping one of the URLs you would put in this box right here. So the idea here was that you could ping all of your backlinks, or all of your pages on your blog, for example, instead of just the one page, which would, for example, be the main page. This just to ensure that all of your pages get indexed. And again, it's for organization's sake that we had two separate boxes for this. This was here for where you paste all your actual backlinks in there and get them pinged on an ongoing basis as well. But just for the record, these keywords are used when these pages are, when your actual blog pages are pinged, as well as these backlinks URLs, just to really force your keyword, how should I say this, to really tell the search engines that your site is associated with this keyword, and that even the backlinks drive that kind of a link juice back to your site. So yeah, both links URLs are pinged using a random selection of the keyword that you've given on top here. And no, there's absolutely no connection to AdCheat Tools. I have actually never heard of it, so every aspect of this script was built from scratch, and I own every piece of it. So no, there's absolutely no connection to any other tools. Okay. And just because I forgot to mention, but the difference between these boxes right here, why we split it up is later on an RSS feed is generated in the background from each campaign, and each time a unique visitor lands on a page that the code is on, it will ping that RSS feed as well, and it'll take 5 from these URLs with a random selection of keywords, and 5 of these URLs with a random selection of keywords, and it will put them into one RSS feed, which is the RSS feed that I just mentioned, that gets pinged with each visitor. So there is a significant reason why we have these two boxes, and those are just one of two reasons. There's a whole list of other reasons, but I can't get into them right now. But just rest assured that every detail was well thought out, and that there is a reason for all of these boxes there. Okay. Okay, moving on to other questions here. Okay, you should have gotten a response from me by now about saying Alan says he's purchased the script but he didn't get the download link. You should have been redirected to the download page, but if that's not the case, just message me, maybe send me an email, and I will get it to you as quickly as possible. And he asks also, how can I ensure that I am on the updates list? Again, I will send you the link where you subscribe to the list where I send the updates to. Okay. Scrolling down a little further here. Cheesy Sticks is suggesting that perhaps all the listed URLs get pinged at the same time for each visitor. This is not the case. Safety measures have been put in place to ensure that only one from each box, one of these two boxes, is getting pinged, as well as the RSS feeds per unique visitor. Okay. If you do have any issues with that, though, please do not hesitate to either email myself or my programmer. There should be some more details on the contact information in the installation guide, and yeah, we would be happy to take a look at that for you. And from your remarks here about a campaign with only backlinks is not allowed, you should be able to do that as long as you select self-pinging. If you select self-pinging, you should be fine with only backlinks. But if you select custom pinging, then you are actually required to put in some URLs that you want to get pinged instead of the page that the visitor lands on. Does that make sense? And in regards to your comments here, personally I'd like to see it do two things, and I believe it can randomly ping a large portfolio of blogs periodically. The problem with this is that always the same IP addresses would be used to do the pinging, and after a while Google just simply ignores those IP addresses if they continue to ping them a large amount of URLs every single day. And so, which is sort of the purpose of this whole script, to eliminate that problem. I myself do use Pingler. I absolutely love it, and but you're right. It's probably something that we will look into more into the future. Okay. Now I'm not too sure what you meant with this here. If you want to, maybe just clarify it a bit more, and I will see if I can give you a more direct, maybe a better answer to that. Okay. Let me just quickly go down here. Let me just quickly read this here. And yes, that's Steve, you're right on the button here. There was an issue that it would not accept some random characters in the passwords, but that has been taken care of. So the new version, the last updated version, which came out yesterday, should be running with this absolutely no problems. You should have no problem with those usernames and passwords that have these weird characters in them. I myself never use those passwords or weird characters in my passwords, so which might explain why I never ran into this kind of a situation before. Okay, let me just quickly go on to the next page here. And laid back, you're right on the button. It does only ping the listed URLs on a random basis, as I explained a little earlier. Okay, and thank you, laid back, for answering those questions. It's very much appreciated. And Shelly, I'm glad you got it figured out, and thanks again, Steve, for helping out in my absence.